What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday so far. This is MYG Jeffy T85 here, and I want to talk about. Everybody's talking about Daniel Jones, well deserved. Saquon Barkley, well deserved. Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, Dory Jackson, Xavier McKinney, Julian Love, whoever it is. Leonard Williams, Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari, Evan Neal, etc. I'm going to talk about the three guys that everybody now is starting to respect for the job that they have done for this football team since they've gotten their opportunities, and they have taken advantage of it on this football team. And that, of course, is the trio of wide receivers that have really made a name for themselves and have become Daniel Jones' top targets right now throughout this season. And that, of course, is Darius Slayton, Richie James, and Isaiah Hodgins. All three of these guys, since they've gotten their opportunity towards the latter end of this season and into the postseason, have all stepped their games up. Remember, Isaiah Hodgins was pretty much on the Bills practice squad until the Giants picked him up during around week 9, week 10 of this season. And what ended up happening is he's really come in and he's given that Giants these slot. He's pretty much been that guy that takes care of the slants, that bigger bodied receiver. He's the guy that's going to be able to go out there and try to create those mismatches with his size and some of his elusive route running that he has for a 6'4", 210-pound wide receiver. And remember, he was a 6th round pick at pick 207 out of Oregon State. And this guy's a terrific player. He really is. He's come in and he's been a terrific player, and you have to wonder why and how Isaiah Hodgins was on the practice squad and not giving an opportunity. Because since he's come in there for the Giants, he's been unbelievable. He's coming off an 8-catch, 105-yard game and a touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings. You gotta give a hell of a lot of respect to the job that Isaiah Hodgins has been doing for this team. He's really come in, and he's been terrific since he was signed by the Giants. And in 10 games, 37 catches, 392 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And in a way, he's become the go-to receiver for this team. And he's going to be back next year on a reduced salary. I believe he's going to be making about $517,000 or so. So he's going to get an opportunity to be part of this wide receiver core next year. And it's right now, the way he's playing, he could be the number 2 receiver on this team. How about another guy that's really stepped in and done his job? Richie James. A guy that was originally signed on this team after making stints with the San Francisco 49ers from 2008 to 2021, since he was drafted in the 7th round at pick number 240 from Middle Tennessee. He was a guy that had some ability. A speed player, elusive route runner in the middle of the field. But he really never got his full opportunity because he kept getting hurt. The Giants signed him primarily to be more of a special teams player and be a returner. But because of injuries that happened at the slot receiver position and a trade, Richie James has come in and he's gotten the job done too. The 5'9", 185-pound slot receiver has really done an excellent job for this team, providing that security and safety blanket over the middle of the field for the Giants overall. And he had 4 catches for 31 yards, including a very, very nice, very good slot catch over the middle of the field to pick up at least 12 yards on one of those key plays in the fourth quarter. He had 57 catches for 569 yards and 4 touchdowns for the Giants. He's going to be a free agent after this year, and nobody would be shocked if this guy gets a look now from other teams to try to go out there and sign him because of the terrific job that he's done for the New York Giants at the slot receiver position. And then, of course, you have Darius Slayton, the 5th round pick at 171 out of Auburn, who has pretty much spent his entire time with the Giants. While the other 2 players spent times on other teams, Darius Slayton has been here for the ups and the downs. And a lot of New York Giants fans, including myself, have gotten frustrated with Darius Slayton over the time being. But you know what? The guy's actually had a pretty damn solid career with the New York Giants for a 5th round pick. 46 catches, 724 yards, and 2 touchdowns this year. He has struggled with drops at times, but at the same time, this guy has been an underrated route runner for the 6'1", 190-pound speed receiver. In fact, in his career with the Giants, he's played in 59 games with 170 catches, 2,554 yards, and 15 touchdowns. He's been a guy that's been pretty decently consistent. Not great, but he's been consistent for the most part. In fact, he's had 3 seasons where he's had over 700 yards receiving. The only year he didn't was in 2021, where he played the least amount of games of his career, and he only had 339 yards receiving for the Giants. But this guy has been pretty much, a decently reliable receiver out there. He's going to be a free agent after the season too, and there's an argument that he's going to get outpriced at the Giants' price range. I mean, in fact, everybody's going to talk about that crucial drop he had on that third down play, which could have hurt the Giants in terms of winning that football game. But at the same time, Slayton had 4 catches for 88 yards, including 2 big catches, 1 for 47 yards over the middle of the field. When everybody, including myself, thought going into this football season this year, it was going to be Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, and Wan'Dale Robinson that were going to be the 4 guys. Remember, at the beginning of the season, Darius Slayton was inactive pretty much, and people were even arguing that this guy was not even going to be on the football field. Richie James was pretty much relegated to more of a slot receiver / special teamers guy. Remember, he was playing behind Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, and Kadarius Toney. And Isaiah Hodgins was sitting there on the practice squad for the Buffalo Bills for a majority of the season after he got waived from the team. But Buffalo didn't want him to go, so they signed him to the practice squad. You think about that at the beginning of the season, and you look now at what these 3 guys are doing. All 3 of these guys have been integral parts of this wide receiver core. And you can't even say the Giants wide receivers are that bad anymore. You can give a hell of a lot of credit to Daniel Jones for the job he has done to help turn these wide receivers into the players they are right now, but you also have to give a lot of credit to Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, and Richie James for stepping up their games when this team needed them and pretty much getting their opportunities out there on the football field. And all 3 of these guys have seized the opportunity when called upon. All 3 of these guys have done a fantastic job. And now you could even argue 2 of these guys might be outpriced of what the Giants might want to try to bring them back. Because you're going to get Wan'Dale Robinson back next year. You might get Sterling Shepard back. Kenny Golladay will most likely be gone. And Kadarius Toney was traded in the middle of the season. Plus, you're probably going to see this team look to get a number 1 receiver either in trades, through a trade, or in the draft. But you got to give a lot of credit for what these 3 guys have done on the football field for this New York Giants team. And this wide receiver core is not as bad anymore as people thought. Because Isaiah Hodgins has been an underrated, terrific route runner that's scoring touchdowns at a rapid pace, and he's becoming what we wanted in Kenny Golladay, a 6'4", 200-plus pound wide receiver that can go up there and pluck the ball out of the air, run those slants over the middle of the field, go deep at times, and also be able to hold, toe tap the sidelines and be that red zone target for this team. Richie James has become a security blanket over the middle of the field for some of those short passes, for some of those plays he gets those yak yardages, and he's able to become that reliable target in the middle of the field like you asked for your slot receiver that unfortunately we didn't get all season from Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, and Wan'Dale Robinson. Shepard and Robinson get injured, and Kadarius Toney gets traded. And then Darius Slayton, who's been with this team for 4 years, never really gotten a fair shake from the fans. Some of them warranted, some of them not warranted. He's gotten his opportunity out there, and he's become that deep threat that this team has needed. With some of those big plays over the middle of the field, he's been one of Daniel Jones, if not the favorite target of Daniel Jones, since they both got drafted in the same year in 2019. And he's picked up some of those big plays over the middle of the football field for this New York Giants team that you asked Darius Slayton to do. So while none of these 3 guys are going to go out there and, make you think that you got T. Higgins or Jamar Chase or, a Devontae Smith or a Jalen Waddle or a DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, the top tier wide receivers in the NFL. A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. You can go on and on. All these three guys have done what the opportunity has been there, and when their numbers were called, they've gone out there and they've done the job for this team when the Giants needed these wide receivers to step up their game. That's a kudos to their wide receivers coach, Mr. Groh. That's a kudos to Sterling Shepard for, even though he's been injured, being a coach out there and helping mentor these wide receivers and helping develop their games. That's a job to Mike Kafka for calling the plays necessary to help these guys out and get them in the best position to make plays on the football field. And especially, it's a kudos to Hodgins, James, and Slayton for when their numbers were called upon and when these guys were pretty much either even not even on the team or they were either inactive or pretty much special teams players due to injuries, bad play, or trades. These three guys have gotten their opportunity on the football field and they have taken advantage of it. And we are going to need these three guys to do it again when we play against the Philadelphia Eagles Saturday night on NBC at 8:15 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. So I just want to make this video giving a special shout out to the unheralded trio at wide receiver, Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, and Richie James, for the terrific job that these three guys have done since they were called upon to go out there, step their games up, and become three reliable targets for Daniel Jones to operate. So if you guys like this video, hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT85 for more breaking news, updates, and chatter surrounding the New York Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications. The next video or short they'll be dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. And you guys let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree that flowers should be thrown out there, and kudos to these three terrific young wide receivers. When they're given their opportunities, they have all gone out there and they've flourished. Every single one of them. Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, and Richie James. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Football Giants. As always, together blue, everyone.